Welcome, everyone. Here we are at Urmston Junior School up in Manchester. Say hello, Urmston Junior School. Very good. I'm Jim Sells from the National Literacy Trust, and we're going to be taking on a really exciting and very special event today because today is... It is World Book Day, so we need to do a few welcomes, introduce a few people here. So first of all, I'd like to say welcome to Urmston Junior School. And we need to say, steady, and we need to say a big welcome to all of those who are live streaming and watching us all around the globe, all around the globe, and they're in these cameras here at the back. So a big hello to online live streamers. And I think we need to do a very big and very special, very Urmston Junior School welcome to father, footballer, and author, Mr. Frank Lampard.
That was good. Very good.
Do you think we're going to have trouble with these guys today, Frank?
I think so.
I think there might be. So, shall I tell you a little about what we're going to do today? Yeah! Okay. We're going to have far too much fun. It's going to be really hard for these teachers when we go because, it's just going to be too much to come down from. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have some great questions for Frank. And some of you guys out there have written some excellent questions. Give me a wave if you've written a question for Frank today. I can see you. So there's going to be a microphone which is going to be coming your way in some bit. And then give me a wave online. You can't do that really, can you? But I know that you're out there. We've got some questions coming in from all over the world with some questions for Frank to ask you all about your role as a footballer and as a father and as an author. So lots of tough questions for you, Frank. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I think we should move straight into this. So, lots of young people dream about being a professional footballer. Anyone out there? Quite a few out there. I can put my hand up. Okay, so lots of young people dream about being a professional footballer, and lots of footballers write books. So they write about themselves as autobiographies. But you've chosen to write a series of books for young people called FRANKIE'S MAGIC FOOTBALL. Yes. So these young people want to know why and what your inspiration behind this. So we're going to get them to ask you some questions about that. Okay, so I've got a question from Amy Louise in Year 5. Have we got Amy Louise? Where are you? Dun, 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 dun. There she is. Okay, so we've got a microphone coming for you. I think it's going to be flown over, obviously, by the bad-tempered ladybird. There we go. We've got to spot all the references that we can. This is good. This is smooth. Okay, Amy Louise, what's your question, please?
Can you explain why you wanted to be an author, how were you inspired?
Good question. Yeah. Well, as you've sort of gone through there, I've been a footballer since all my working life. So I left school to go and play football. And as I have got older, I've got 2 girls myself. And I started reading books with them as they were growing up, probably a bit younger than you all are now, and watching TV with them and watching all them, interacting and reading their experiences. And I just kind of thought, as a footballer, it would be nice to do something different. Not many footballers, as you say, footballers write autobiographies about themselves, but nobody wanted to do anything slightly different. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try and write a book about football and adventure. Because I was a young football-loving boy myself many years ago now, and I'm sure lots of you in the room here love football and adventure, so I kind of thought, okay, let's try and do something different. So I've started writing these stories, and I'm hoping that people who are reading them are enjoying them.
Great, good question, thank you. So we're going to move to Ethan from Year 6. Where's Ethan? Where are you? There you are, Ethan. Is there a microphone near you? Here we go, there's a rabbit with a microphone for you.
When you were younger, did you like writing stories?
Yes, I did. I loved writing stories. I mean, I enjoyed reading as well, and I used to read probably on my own or with my parents at the time. And I did like writing stories. I think I was very much encouraged at school to do that. I think I would certainly encourage all of you to write stories here, because I think it's a great way of using your imagination. Becoming creative, when you write stories, you can write about anything you want. You can take it anywhere. So, I certainly love doing that. And as I say, when I started playing football, I kind of put that and didn't really write stories. And then as I've got older, I've started enjoying doing it again. Hence the books coming.
Great, another good question, Ethan. Thank you. So, Poppy, where are you? Poppy in Year 5. There she is, standing right up. Well done. And again, the rabbit produces the microphone.
If you had 3 simple items like a cup, a sock, and an apple, how would you make a good story out of them?
There you go.
Under pressure.
Yeah. So any item?
No, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, it's funny because I do these kind of things with my two daughters, actually, because they love reading and they like to write, and they write about all sorts of crazy, amazing things. And I said to them, if you think of simple things, so for instance with that, they would say, I asked my daughter and her first answer was, well, a little girl wakes up, she eats an apple, has a cup of water and puts her socks on. And that was her answer. And I said to her, and I think this is how you have to do it. It takes time. You can't write a story, not always your first draft, your first idea is the right one. So I think it's more, trying to explain to her was the descriptions and using these items in your story as you go along. So if it was an apple, it would be a poisonous apple, or could it be a smelly sock, or could it be a different kind of cup, and try and make an interesting story out of it. So can't give you an answer right away, but I think it's more about taking your time and trying to think of different ideas rather than maybe the simple one that first comes to mind.
Great answer. Okay, so we've now got a question from the live streamers here. So this is from Lawrence Haynes School, which is in Watford. So what will your next book be about, Frank?
Well, my next book comes out in April, and it revolves around Australia, actually. It's called The Kangaroo Caper, and it's Frankie and the gang get whizzed off to Australia. I think the second series of my books, the second set of 5, have been sort of geographical. So the Magic Football takes them in different parts of the world, because the first series was kind of more historical, going back in time. So I loved history when I was younger at school, so that was a big thing for me so you can hopefully read the books and learn bits of history. And the second series has been more about geography, so you can learn about Australia at the same time as seeing Frankie do his adventure.
So your next career is going to be a teacher, clearly, from history through to geography.
Yeah, I think that might be as far enough as I'll go. I'll
Okay.
stick to the books and leave the teaching to the professionals.
So we're going to ask you a little bit about your reading and what you like to read now. And we've got Zara. Where's Zara from Year 5? There we go. We haven't got a rabbit this time. We're going back to the angry ladybird. She needs to look a bit angry at getting to it. Go on. You can get there. Okay, Zara.
What's your favourite genre of books and why?
I've got a few different genres, really. Just as I said there, I loved history at school, so I like reading about history. So I like reading about figures in history, people who lived many years ago, different times in history. I'm sure you learn. My daughters are learning about Tudors, and you'll learn all different things, and that's very interesting to me as well. So I love reading that, and I love fiction. So I like reading, interesting books. So some good adult authors there that you may not know now, really, but they write some really exciting fiction books. So I think the important thing about reading is to not stick to one thing. I think sometimes the problem when you read, especially when you're young, as you are here, you can pick up a book and think that's a bit boring and think, I don't really want to read that. Well, that's fine, and you try and find something else that you enjoy reading. And that's the thing. So always try different genres, which I try and do, and then you'll find things that interest you as you look around.
Good advice. So Kira, we've got Kira in Year 4. Where are you? There we are.
What was your favourite book when you was a child and why?
My favourite book was the BFG. I don't know have you read the BFG? Yes, good. So we used to read that at school as well when I was there, and I just loved Roald Dahl. I loved his books. I found them really interesting and exciting. I loved his descriptions and the fun, the sense of fun in all of his books. I mean, you could say the BFG. I loved The Witches, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. As you can see here. So he was certainly my favourite author as a child, and the BFG was the one that sticks in my memory. It was one of the first books that made me really get excited about reading.
Excellent. And we've got a kind of a follow-up question, really, from Noah. Where's Noah? And you're in Year 4. Just to remind you what year you're in. You're in year...
What is your favourite children's book and why?
Okay, well, I said Roald Dahl there, so was around when I was younger. I think nowadays, in the modern day, I would say David Walliams. I think I don't know if you've read David Walliams' books as well. Yeah, some of you. He writes really good, fun books, and he's a similar style to Roald Dahl, I think. He's lots of description, lots of things that will make you laugh. And I think I read Ratburger recently, An Awful Auntie, because I like to read other people's books to get ideas myself, to see what other people are writing about, and I think he's fantastic. So I would always say he's one of my favourite now.
Okay, I think actually we've got there's a bit of a smattering of some David Walliams characters out there. Can you give us a wave if you've come as an Awful Auntie or a Wagner or some of the others? Yeah, there's quite a few. I think that's a Soot, isn't it?
Very good.
Yeah, great. So there's quite a few David Walliams. And I think it's a bit of a modern Roald Dahl, perhaps, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah, I think so. I think his style of writing is very similar, and as I say, his descriptions and that. as I say, I love his sense of fun, because when I've started writing books, you have to kind of, try and put your mindset as all the other children, what they enjoy and what they enjoy reading. And I think David Williams pushes the boundaries.
Yeah.
He's fun and he's different. And I think when I'm reading with my two, they always want things to make them laugh or to make them a bit scared or whatever on different levels. So I think he's very, very good at it. It's brilliant.
I think that's your chosen book this year. It's your Man City's reading star for Premier Reading Star. So that's great, great choice. Yes. Okay, let's have another question. Here we go. We've got this is from Abigail, who's in Year 6. Where's Abigail? There we are. Can't miss her there, really. I think there might be another Roald Dahl reference in this character. What do you think? Is that a golden ticket?
What was your favourite book character when you were younger?
Well, as I say, I've mentioned Roald Dahl. A character I think is very timeless is Peter Pan, and I remember reading the Peter Pan book when I was younger, and being quite enthralled by his sense of adventure. He was quite cheeky, Peter Pan, and he wants to sort of take risks and do the naughty thing as such. And he's obviously got that magical thing of staying young forever, which is, you might not realise it now. When you get older, you wish you could stay young forever. You probably want to be older, I'm guessing. But I think Peter Pan is a very timeless character. It's a book that was brilliantly written a long, long time ago, before all of us, pretty much, and still works perfectly now. And now they've made movies, etc. out of it. So I think as a character, it was really strong.
Okay, that's a great question. We've got someone from Tennyson Road Primary School, again, in the live stream, hopefully you're watching this, and they want to know if you could be any character from a book. I can probably see where this might be going. Would there be one of the characters that you read about when you were younger that you would like to be?
Ooh, Peter Pan would be a good one. Said that already.
Yeah.
So, it's tough. I mean, there's so many strong characters. I mean, I've read some of the Harry Potter books now, and I know we've got some Harry Potters here. I mean, everyone would love that sense of magic and wizardry.
Too right.
So, yeah, I'll maybe say Harry Potter, because I said Peter Pan already.
Okay, good. So I'm going to talk to you about being a dad now, being Robin. We're both fathers of two young girls.
Okay.
So we can rabbit about that for some time. Yeah. And you quite often talk about reading with your daughters. As a dad, why do you think it's important to read with your children, and what do you think that they get out of that?
I think how I find it, and I remember reading when I was younger, and there were times, and I think we're not all saints, we're not all the perfect children out there, and I think I wasn't. And sometimes you maybe don't want to read. I think particularly for all you have that so many other options of playing computer games, doing extra things now, and not reading. So I think as a parent, it's very important that you kind of show that you're in it with the child, and I like to do it with my girls. So I'll basically try and sit down and say, okay, we'll read together for 10 minutes, and then you can read on your own for 10 minutes more or something per day, or very regularly. And I think I enjoy doing that. I think I'm sure you as a parent, you enjoy this. Going just before bedtime reading is one of those magical moments. So I think that's what I try and do, and it's an encouragement. It shows the children that you're interested in it, and for me it's obviously helped, because reading with them gave me certain ideas to go and write my own books. Yeah,
inspirational. Okay, Mrs. Jones, we've got a teacher question. I don't know if that's really allowed, but I think we'll squeeze one in. So, Mrs. Jones, have you got a
Hi, Frank. You're an ambassador for the National Literacy Trust. Do you have a message or a piece of advice for the children today?
I just think with reading it, I think it's about enjoyment, which I keep saying is a similar message to what I've been saying, but I think you try and, what I said earlier is very important as well, is when you're trying to find books that you enjoy, keep trying to find different ones. If you don't find things that you're excited in, read others, and try and enjoy them, because as you get older, you'll realise it's such an important skill. You can use your imagination as you're young, you can have great fun with it, you can gain knowledge by reading. There's so many things that you can do with it in later life, but even just as you are now, enjoy it. So read as much as you can. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, good message. Okay, so there's lots of young people out there, as we've established, who would love to be a professional footballer, and might even say, I don't need to read when I grow up because I'm going to be a professional footballer. Right. But do you think that being a reader helps to make you like a world-class player? And we've got that question written by someone from St Albans Church of England Primary School, so hello out there. Why is reading and writing important if you want to be a footballer when you want to grow up?
I have to say, I think reading and writing is important in every walk of life. So I think it's important whether you want to be a footballer or anything, what aspirations you have for when you're older. But I can say personally, I think with football, what you see is us on the pitch, scoring goals, winning games or losing games, but you see that. But behind the scenes, we do a lot of travelling. We have to speak to a lot of people. We travel around the world, so you're meeting people around the world. you have to speak on TV, which is not always easy, and you can be nervous. And I think reading and writing at your age and continuing to do so through your life can only help, because it's not just about kicking the ball on the pitch. There's so much that goes on around it.
Yeah.
So if you get that base knowledge of reading, as I say, you can travel to somewhere in the world and you can remember something that you read that makes it easier for you to sort of, communicate with people. So I think it's a really strong thing, not just to be a footballer, but to have that around you.
Yeah, so very important, strong message there. I've got two last questions, then I think we're going to have a bit of a kickabout.
It's a
perhaps.
bit small. I'm worried about it.
It's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. Okay, so sometimes studies will show us that boys don't enjoy reading as much as girls.
Yeah.
Partly because they don't think reading's very cool. So have you got anything you'd like to say to young people who think that reading isn't cool? What would you say to that?
Yeah, well, I disagree. I understand there are, as I said before, there's so many things to do. Having been a young boy myself, I understand you might want to kick a football, you might want to play computer games and things, but I think the thing to do is not worrying about being what's cool and what's not. And I think it is cool, because what it is, you can have lots of fun and enjoyment. And as I said before, you're gaining knowledge, you're learning all the time by reading, you're really sort of using your mind and your brain. So I don't think we have to worry about what's cool at all. And I think it's pretty cool if you read and you can talk to me about a book and talk about your experiences of reading. That's really cool.
What do you think, guys? Do you think reading's cool? Yeah! I reckon it is, especially now we know Frank's a big reader, so absolutely. Okay, I think we've got one last question, okay? And then we're going to move into the activity. So we've got Rebecca from Year 6. Where's Rebecca? There she is. Again, the rabbit leaps, bounces into action, hops.
In a fire, if you could only take one thing out of a football and your favourite book, which would it be and why?
This is a difficult one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the football.
Oh!
It's a tough one. Listen, you try and take both, but I think I am very fortunate because football has given me a job, and it's actually given me the opportunity to write books and be here today and talk about reading with you. So go back to the beginning, I'll say football.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe you could dribble the ball out and carry the football under your arm.
Yeah, of course, we'll find a way to do
Because
both.
you're a multi-talented footballer. Right, guys, we're going to move on to an activity now, and there's going to be a chance for some of you to get up here and to take to be in goal against Frank, who's notoriously great at taking pens, so be advised. Now, I've got a teacher helper somewhere. Who are you? Give me a hand, give me a wave. All right, so what we want you to do is to be ready to bring up some young people to the front, so stand by. And here's the gag, right, guys? I am going to read to you, I'm going to read to you some blurbs. Who can tell me what a blurb is? Okay, what's a blurb? Very good. So this is the bit which tells you a little bit about the story, and I've chosen 3 books here, and I've given Frank some questions to ask about them. So they're helpfully not in the right order. So they should be 1, 2, and 3.
Got it.
So the first one I'm going to read to you is from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, so the brief is, so I'm going to read to you the blurb, and then Frank's going to ask you a question, okay? And then, Miss, if you can grab the child who wins, not physically grab them, but bring them up to the back here and just line them up here, okay? Is everyone happy? Do you all know what you're doing? I guess that was a medium one, wasn't it? Do you all know what you're doing? Yeah! Okay, here we go. Diary of a Wimpy Kid Do-It-Yourself book by Jeff Kinney. What are you going to do with this thing? This is your book now, so technically you can do whatever you want with it. Make your own Wimpy Kid stories and comics, list your fave things and your totally awesome practical jokes, and keep your own journal. Just make sure you don't write down your feelings in here. Because one thing's for sure, this is not a diary. Make sure you put this book someplace safe after you finish it. When you're rich and famous, this thing is going to be worth a fortune. Frank, what's our question?
Okay, the question is, what must you make sure you never write in your journal? My choice.
Your choice.
It's going to have to be Darth Vader.
Oh, good.
Definitely. Feelings, very good. Correct.
Okay, very good. I think a round of applause, please. Come on. Okay, we're ready. So this is from Awful Auntie, as we've been talking about by David Williams. So, Stella Saxby is the sole heir to Saxby Hall, but Awful Aunt Alberta, I can see a couple of you, Awful Aunt Alberta and her giant owl will stop at nothing to get it from her. Luckily, Stella has a secret and slightly spooky weapon up her sleeve.
Okay, question is, who does Awful Aunt Alberta have to help her? I'm going to choose you. An owl. Very good.
Very good.
Very
Round
good.
of applause. Well done. Okay, our third one is from some guy called Frank Lampard. Frankie's Magic Football and versus the Pirate Pillagers. So Frankie and his team love playing football. There's always time for a game. But when they win an old football at the carnival, they're going to be transported to a magical world of football they never knew existed. Can Frankie and his team beat their pirate pillagers and make their way home?
Okay, what team must Frankie and his team beat to get home? I'm going to go over the back here somewhere. Yes, you. Yes.
Very good. Round of applause. Up to come. Okay, nice. Right then, this is going to be a sort of very quick one. We're going to have 5 of you. The next 5 get these questions right. Are going to come and join these 3 guys. I think what we'll need to do is we can squeeze you that away and stick them behind the goal. Stick them behind the goal. Are you ready, Darth? This is going to be good. Okay. So what I want you to tell Frank and I want you to tell us where we can read the latest information about football. Where can we read about football? So let's let's pick 5 where we can read about football.
Okay. Yes. Yep.
Would it be a
A football museum? What do you think? We can read lots about football.
I'm sure we can.
Museum. Okay.
I agree. I agree with you. Football
Okay, let's
museum
have it
is
on.
a very
Up you
good
come.
answer. Well done. Very good. I like it. Good choice then. Yes, I'm going to take the girl in the black. Yes. Match of the Day magazine. Sorry.
Match of the Day magazine.
No, I was picking in front of you, but I'll come to you straight next after. Well done. Match of the Day magazine.
Come on, Match of the Day magazine. Here we go. Frank, we've got another one.
Newspapers is very good.
Excellent. Happy with that. Okay, one more. Oh, there's a lot of strange faces.
I'm going to go, yes, for you with the glasses. Sorry?
On the internet, was that?
On the internet, very
on the
good
websites,
answer.
Excellent. Yes,
very
up you
good
come.
answer.
Very good. Okay, here we go. This is the big moment now. You're going to have a penalty taken against you by Frank Lampard. Frank, do you want to take the position?
Yep.
Let's take some balls out your way. All right, guys, you're ready. This is going to be a big, visually scary moment. So we're going to feed you through this way. And the idea is, okay, so if Frank scores against you, you have to go and sit down. If he doesn't score against you, you come back and join the queue. Okay, it's going to be really fast. Are you ready? Okay, getting ready.
Ready?
Oh, he saved it. Go around again.
This is difficult.
Oh, he saved it. Quick. Oh! Next one. Darth, we might need to hitch. Darth, we might need you to hitch up your rather cheating thing there.
Yeah, give me that one. I've got it. No way.
Good stance. Here we go.
Can't see a space here.
Oh,
good.
Quick. Oh, very good. Next. Oh.
Then. All right, I'm going to get quicker.
Oh, Darth's out. Okay, very good.
Oh,
off the post. Quick.
Save.
Let's have the ball. Quick. Let's have that other ball.
We could be here all day.
Nah, it's going to be pro. Oh, he's out. How many have we got left? 3. Oh! Sorry, just wait one. Who's it going to be?
Oh, well done.
There we go. Come on, Wally. Oh, it's post. Oh, I think we've got a clear winner.
I think we do.
Everybody, it's Where's Wally is the winner. Well done. Frank, you did this. We've got a special trophy for you.
There you go.
Keep your shine up.
Congratulations.
Come on, big cheers. Fantastic, we're going to get back up there now. Well done. That was tense. Very well done, everyone, for taking part in that. Really enjoyed that. Frank, were you all right about that? Was that
Yes,
okay?
yeah, no, I'm
you
happy.
did well.
I've scored a
Let's have
couple
a
at
few.
least.
Let's have a few.
Okay, I'm changing.
Okay, so that was the big shootout. So now we're going to move into the last phase of operations for today. We've got the last element. Now, I think we've got someone who's going to come and do some reading with us. Now, I need my Frankie book. Where's my Frankie book? I'll put it in my hand. Of course I have. I've always got a Frankie book in my hand. So, Ellie, who's going to come and read with us today? Where are you? No? Yes, there she is. It's the Oompa Loompa. Okay, let's have a big round of applause for our Oompa Loompa reader, please. You come and stay with me, Ellie. You know what we're doing, don't we? Do you want my seat? You can have my seat. There we go. In fact, we swapped seats, I think, haven't we? But that's going to be all right. So what we're going to do is Ellie's going to read a lovely piece here from Frankie's book. So for those of you who haven't managed to read the whole series yet, Frankie and his friends are basically transported into lots of different crazy worlds in time, across history, and across the world in terms of geography. And they get to go have lots and lots of adventures together, and they work together as a team, and they get transported through a very battered football, which they win at a fairground. So we're going to find out now how Frankie and his friends get to actually get hold of this football. Is that all right, Ellie? You're going to give us a good reading. Thank you. Do we need a microphone? We do. I shall hover and be your microphone monkey.
The old man shook his head as he climbed down the ladder. I'm afraid. When he saw Frankie, he paused and then nodded. I suppose one more won't hurt. 50 pence gets you 3 shots. Get in the bucket and you win a prize. He reached under the counter and pulled out a football. It must have been almost as old as he was. The ball was half flat and the leather was cracked and peeling off. He set it out in front of Frankie. Max sniffed at it, then whined. That bucket is tiny, said Charlie. It might be another con job. Frankie stared at the old man. There was something odd about him, with his eyebrows like bristling caterpillars and his deep wrinkles, but he looked honest enough. Frankie fished his last 50 pence out of his pocket and put it on the counter. He took a step back and drew in a breath.
Very good. Let's have a big round of applause for that. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done. Thank you so much for coming and doing that. Well done. Do you want to give Frank a little handshake?
Handshake. Well done.
There you go. Well done for that.
Brilliant.
Another big round of applause. That's beautifully read. Okay, now I think we better switch seats, 'cause I think they've got cameras in the right angles and all sorts. Now we've got another little presentation to make, because this morning what we've been doing is Match of the Day magazine has been here and helping you guys to write some short stories. Am I right? Yes. So you've been writing some short stories today with Mr. Keane, who might be disguised as a rabbit today, I'm not quite sure. But certainly what's happened is we've got a winner. We actually do have a winner for this. And I think that there's someone out there in the audience who is the winner, and we've got a special trophy.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. Don't you want to win that? It's the Match of the Day short story winner, World Book Day 2015. So I think, Isabel, are you the winner? Where are you? Where have you gone? There we are. Come out the front. Well done. We're going to find your way through. You can do this. Keep the clapping going. Come on. This is great. High five in the rabbit. Yeah. Okay, so if you could, and if you'd like to present Frank with your story. Big cheer, everyone. Here we go. It's a lovely moment. Here we go.
Congratulations. There you go. Well done.
Take a view.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much,
Very
Isabel.
good.
Well done. Okay, thanks very much.
Well done, Isabel.
We'll be sat back down again.
Am I keeping this here with me?
You're going to keep that with you.
Great.
Yeah, Isabel,
Thank
take a view. Thank you. So I think we're kind of nearly there at the end of the day now. And that's been absolutely fantastic for everyone. We've been I think we've had quite a good time up here at the front. You see, this is a proper reader, straight away.
Had a great time.
Had a great time.
Had a great
Fantastic,
time.
Frank. So I think a big thank you to all of you guys out there. And I think the Urmston Junior School deserve a bit of a big cheer for yourselves. Okay, good. And I think we want another big wave to our live streamers as well. We can cheer at them too. How about a big cheer for our live streamers? That's good. Now, this is going to be one of my favourite bits of it on this one, because I think it's this time that you guys, because you've all come as fantastically dressed up for World Book Day today, and I think it's about time that we've been talking lots about reading and about your writing. It'd be really great if you guys could suggest a few books that Frank might like to go back and read to his daughters, or I might like to read to my daughters as well. So has anyone got any ideas that they would like to recommend to us? Aliens in Underpants.
Yeah, so that's
that sounds
good.
like a good one. Frank, do you want to pick someone?
Yep, I'm going to pick, yes. Dinosaurs in Underpants.
Is there a theme?
That's very good. Okay, and an Oompa Loompa there, please.
It's not really a popular one, but it's one that I read at school called The 5 Children and It.
Okay,
The
very
Five
good.
Children and It. Okay, very good.
Very good. And you down there? Tangled. Very good. My two would love that one. And
Let's have a couple. Let's have two more.
two more. Okay, let me see. I don't want to keep pointing at everyone. And yes. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Very good. Yes, I've read some of them myself. And yes, the chef's hat on. Dinosaur Pukes a Planet. Very good. That sounds
awesome.
good.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
I have also just been wired in that I've still got a couple of questions to ask from outside in live streamer. So we're going to go back online and we're going to ask these guys out in the live stream land a couple of questions for you. So let me see. So we've got a question from Yarlside School. So Yarlside School would say, as an author, do you reflect on the experiences from your playing career in your books?
A little bit, because they are fiction, and I try and put a lot of adventure in it. So I kind of take little bits from. I would say more from my experience of growing up as a young boy, wanting to be a footballer. Yeah. Not so much that when you actually become a professional footballer, it becomes far too serious, unfortunately. But as a young boy growing up and dreaming of being a footballer, and everything I thought about revolved around football. And I would say I take experiences from my own thoughts, from teammates I had around me, friends, and as I've met along the way. So yes, certainly, I think it's very important when you're writing your stories to tap into your own people, your own life and experiences.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Yarlside School. Okay, we've got another one from just coming in live. Here we go. So the question from I'm not quite sure how to say this, but it sounds like, or it looks like Mont Nicole School, and really getting to my French accent there. Mont Nicole School. What would you have done, Frank, if you hadn't have been a professional footballer?
Well, when I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's strange, yeah, because we had when I was growing up, there was a really famous TV program, LA Law, at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Which I used
Might
to
remember that.
Yeah, which none of you remember at all. But I actually wanted to be a lawyer, which is a really difficult thing to do. You have to study loads, so probably better off that I didn't go down that route. But no, I think, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I wanted to be a footballer. That was always my number one choice. But what was very important that my parents told me, which is important for all of you as well, is that, you always have to have different ideas and you can't put all your eggs in one basket and think, I just want to be that and that's it. So that was me trying to think what I might do if I wasn't a footballer. Yeah,
very good. Okay, I think we've got time for another couple. I believe that Emma from Year 3. Have we had Emma from Year 3 yet? We haven't had Emma from Year 3 yet. So being a proper professional, I've left you out until this glorious moment right at the end, and we've got a battle of the ladybird coming through. Thank you. So Emma, let's have your question.
Are there any skills that you have as a successful sports person that come in useful when being a writer?
Wow.
I think probably focus, I would say. I think anything you want to do in life, and being a footballer is the same as being a writer. There will be some bad days I have. Like sometimes I want to write a story and I hit a blank. Can't think of anything to write on the day, or my mind's on something else and I can't do it. Some days I try and play football and my legs don't work as well as they did on other days. I think that's it. And I think so the important thing is sort of focus. And if you have certain days where you don't want to read, you don't want to write, or you don't want to run around so much, I think it's about sort of having the patience to go again. And I think that's very much the same as an author and a footballer.
Yeah, I get that's quite a message often from other players when we talk to them about how it's such a transferable skill being a footballer, and you know, if at first you don't succeed, you know, keep trying, and if you struggle with your reading,
certainly, as like determination, I would say, to keep trying. As I said, we all have bad days, and some days if you're reading, you're not happy or it doesn't work. That's why I said to change, try and find a different book, pick up a book another day. So that's all possible, and it's very much the same with football life.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, guys. So I think we need to have another couple of recommendations. I'm going to sort of mix it up a little bit like this, if that's okay with you. So let's have another 2 recommendations. So what are you reading? What are you reading at the moment? Let's have a go. Can we have you? Reading the Famous Five. Okay. Did you ever read those when you were younger?
Yes, I did. I read the Famous Five. A long time ago. Memory wouldn't serve me too well to tell you all about it, but I know it's a fantastic book, a very famous book. Good choice.
Okay, let's have another one. Frank, do you want to choose?
Yes, I'm going to choose. Yes, I'll choose you here. Sorry? Okay, very good.
I'm not aware of that one. We'll be looking that one up.
We're learning today.
Okay, this is about our learning opportunity as well, to be quite honest.
Okay.
So I think this chap here.
I think you... Horrid Henry. Great choice. My 2 girls love Horrid Henry.
So we were talking about this, so tell us about World Book Day last year when...
So my daughter was Horrid Henry, actually, which is... I was trying to talk her out of it for some reason. I thought that she would want to be a princess. She's been a princess before as well, so I kind of... she was Horrid Henry, but my 2 were loving the Horrid Henry books this time last year. They were reading them regularly. I think Horrid Henry's a great character. He's that cheeky, naughty boy that we all love to read about. I think they're brilliant books. They're a very good choice.
Have we got any Horrid Henrys out here today? So it's the last year was Horrid Henry. Have we got one? Oh, we have one, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's still
can see the
still going strong there.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I'm a bit scared of this mask. Myself.
Oh, you mean
see myself? No.
Oh, look, there you are.
Of me.
How do you do that? That's kind of... that's quite a scary moment.
It's quite freaky, isn't it?
There we go.
And
all along, it wasn't you, Frank. You were actually up here. So do we have lots of Man City fans out here? I think this is the kind of Man City area, don't you?
Okay.
No. I think we have... Let's have a big cheer for Man City. I think we need a big cheer for Man City. That's very good. Okay. Okay, right. We really have now just got a couple of live minutes. I suppose that's kind of true. We've got a couple of live minutes left of this today. So I think it's a really good time to just have a big thank you to all the people that are here today. And there's lots of people that have been working hard on this day here. But I think obviously most of all, Mr. Frank Lampard. I'm going to leave the last cheer, I think, to him, if that's okay. Because I know you'll want to give him a big thank you. But I think we need a big round of applause for, let me see, should we have all of the people who are out there on the live stream? Have a big wave and a goodbye to Mr. Live Streamers. We're going to give them a big wave. Yes! Good to see you. Thanks for coming along today. Very good. And they came up with some really excellent questions. I think you guys came up with some absolutely awesome questions. Were you happy with our questions?
Very happy, and thank you very much for the great questions and for being here today.
Yeah, really good. So, Urmston Junior School, how about you give yourselves a big cheer here? And we've also had some people here from Match of the Day magazine. Mr. Bierman, Ed is over there. So he's been working on you with your short story. So a bit of a cheer for the Match of the Day magazine here. Well done for that. Now, we've got a quick time for the unsung heroes, really. I think it's a big time for a chance to cheer our teachers. What do we think? So, how about the teachers from Urmston Junior? I really wasn't anticipating that. What do we do with that? Okay, fantastic. And I think a very, very big thank you to Mr. Frank Lampard for coming all the way from Manchester City, where he's an awesome player. From his little, I imagine you're in a shed, Frank, at the bottom of your garden.
Scribbling away
like that. So he's taken time out from his writing, he's taken time out from his playing to come and talk to you and be really inspirational about not only your writing, but also your reading and being a role model. You know, thank you very much for being an ambassador for the National Literacy Trust. That's just so awesome to give the chance to these young people to get us all reading more, because we all think reading is cool, don't we now? Yeah. Okay. So thanks very much, Frank Lampard.